What's the best thing about Korea?
I think just K-pop.
What is your comfort food?
Taco?
McDonald's.
Really?
Koreans really show respect to their elders.
I really love my grandmother.
The way we grew up and the way the Koreans grew up, they're different.
Do you have junk food here as well?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Even you?
Yeah.
Today we're in Seoul, South Korea, and we're talking to people on the street, learning about life in general and what it means to be successful. I feel like Korea has a unique culture. What lessons do you think the rest of the world can learn from Korea?
눈치 없는 사람은 살아남기 힘들다.
I think many people live really hard work, learning hard, study hard.
There's a work culture too, I feel like. It's kind of different. For example, like 회식, where you have to drink after work.
I think that is a really good thing, but it's a little bit too much, but actually it is good.
What's the best thing about Korea?
About food or place?
The culture.
I think just K-pop.
And what do you miss most about Guatemala?
Food.
What do you do for work?
뉴트리션 플러스, 영양 플러스라는 사업을 하고 있습니다.
I find every country and every person maybe has comfort food. What is your comfort food?
Taco?
McDonald's.
Really?
Quarter pound of cheese is my soul food.
That's your guilty pleasure.
So when I'm sad or I'm crying, I gotta eat McDonald's.
Why do you think the US and the UK is very bad when it comes to nutrition? We eat very bad food. The food here seems a lot better.
You mean junk food?
Yes.
그래도 요새 비건도 많고 건강 챙기려는 사람 많아가지고.
And do you have junk food here as well?
Yeah.
It's a problem?
Yesterday.
Even you?
Yeah.
So what's been the most difficult thing about living here in Korea?
Well, everything is really fast, but in a positive way, it's developing and like doing it for a better lifestyle, I guess. But as a person who comes from a Latin American country, it's really fast for us, so we get stressed out.
I noticed the same when I lived in the US. Like everything was so much more efficient, and now I live in Portugal and everything there's a lot slower and a lot more relaxed. But I think the Portuguese have a much happier life.
For sure, because in Guatemala, everybody's happy and they just like walk around and they say hi to anyone. But here, I feel like they're too busy living their own lives.
Yeah, everything's like so fast and you have to get used to it.
What's one lesson that we can maybe learn from Korea?
So Koreans really show respect to their elders.
That is important in Korea. I have grandmother and my parents are really busy, so grandmother take care of me. So I really love my grandmother. So that's why I think elder people I have to respect.
It's sad when I see people mistreat elders in the West, and they treat them very poorly sometimes that I've seen.
Did your grandmother teach you some important lessons?
My grandmother learned to me family is really important. Yes, really, this is really a sad thing. I hope so. Many people take time with elder people, grandmother, father.
I think that's one thing that Westerners can learn from places like Korea is to maybe show more respect to people who are older than you. But at the flip side, I think it can become a hierarchy thing where it is a hierarchy thing, but sometimes it can be abused in Korea as well. If you're older than someone, sometimes you can mistreat them because I'm older than you, you have to do what I say, that kind of thing.
It sounds like you have a lot of different influences. Most people would say that's a good thing, but at the same time, when that happens, sometimes you don't feel like you fit in anywhere as well.
First time I came here, I was like that. I'm not either like Korean, but not Guatemalan either. So
We go to like a Latin bar and we can find like people like us who are Korean and Latin American. So we get together as a group and we understand more each other, I guess.
When I lived in the United States, there was a meetup there. So it was the Brits who live in the United States. And it's funny how, even though we speak the same language, it's different humor, for example. And in Portugal, it's funny because we speak a different language, but the humor is a similar kind of humor.
Sarcasm
Yes.
is different.
Yes.
I lived in the States for 4 years because I went to college in New York. So I felt like I was not a Korean American, but I wasn't Korean, but I'm like a Korean Latin American, but it's hard to find. So when I came here, I was able to meet my Guatemalan friends, so that's where I was able to feel more comfortable.
What does success look like in Korea versus, say, the States?
Well, unfortunately, Korea is probably one of the most materialistic countries in the world. In my opinion, they care too much about money and about the look of success. Whereas I think in some other countries, success is more about finding happiness and a good group of friends and, you know, having a stable job and a family. I think in Korea, success is more about being able to make a lot of money, being able to show people that you've achieved something.
Do you know when you're not Korean? Like if someone knows that maybe you're from another country or dating a foreigner, is that difficult?
The way we grew up and the way the Koreans grew up, they're different. Culturally, we party a lot. The Latin culture, we just hang out as a group at a bar, and I feel like Koreans don't really understand that kind of culture.
They're
So
kind
they
of like
think,
conservative.
yeah, they're kind of conservative. So they think, oh, maybe she's going there to meet another guy. But in reality, we're just meeting our friends and just having our own little group.
So today I've learned some new ideas and life lessons. So I'm curious, if you've lived or been to Korea, what differences did you notice between Korea and other countries around the world? And what lessons can the rest of the world learn from Korea? Leave your comments below.